आरोगन की उठता समय झिलन, तापीछे आरोगने की कहूँ सेवा जो मोमिन, तापीछे आरोगने की कहूँ सेवा जो मोमिन, अब कहूँ आरोगन की। बोले श्री धाम के धनी की जय। Like always, Sundarsaji, I'd like to welcome you on yet another session of our Beetak Discourse. On yesterday's session, we understood the value of service, the value of seva, how Sundarsaji are serving Prananath as if they are serving Raji Maharaj in Paramdham, with such feeling, with such disposition. Scores of Sundarsat, numbers of Sundarsaji are serving Prananath in a very detailed manner. And they are receiving the grace of Prananath. There are no worries. There are no stresses, no anxieties about the world. Ashta prahar 64 gadiya nisadina raj 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 kahiye, as Mahamati says. The whole 24 hours they are singing the glory of Prananath. They are singing the glory of Sri Raji Maharaj. They do not have any worries of the world. Although they are in the world, they have no worries about what's going on around. All they are focused on is serving Prananath, serving each other, being in the commune of Sundarsats, as if they are in the holy meeting of Mul Milava. They have renounced everything. They have renounced their families. They have left everything behind. Yet, in such a state of renunciation, they are still feeling the bliss, because they have begun to experience the spiritual bliss. So when it happens that when we begin to enjoy the bliss of our spiritual practices, then the worldly happiness become non-significant to us. Otherwise, when people ask us to renounce everything, what happens is, as Mahamati Prananath says, Maya Mukta Ghanuruyaji. When we have to leave anything of this world behind, then we are distressed. We cry a lot. We cannot leave things behind if we are engaged in the world and worldly affairs. Here in this world, in this city of Vanna, where there are 5,000 Sundarsats, they are enjoying the spiritual bliss and they do not mind leaving anything behind, because all they want to see is the smile in the face of Prananath. All they want to do is serve Prananath and serve Sundarsaji. All they want to hear is the glory of Paramdham and the discourse from Prananath. They do not want anything else but the closeness of Mahamati Swami Sri Prananath, because they realize that he is the Lord Supreme of this Jaganese Brahmanda. Dear Sundarsaji, such is the state in Panna. The spiritual bliss of Panna, the spiritual bliss of the commune of Prananath is such that they do not worry about anything. Those who have left everything behind are enjoying the bliss of Paramdham. As we all know that when in the Eastern culture, in Eastern tradition, when a girl gets married, before she gets married, people remind her that, oh, you are getting married now. Don't forget us. Don't forget your family. Do not forget your mother and father that have given birth to you. We are your friends. And those days pass by with such difficulties. She thinks about her family a lot. When she gets married, time gradually passes by. She still misses her family. The day of her wedding, she cries a lot because she has to leave everyone behind and go to her husband's house. Gradually, probably she gives birth to a child or two. And then what happens? She gradually forgets her family. She gradually forgets her maternal side of her family. Similarly here, those Sundarsats who had trouble renouncing everything behind, who had trouble leaving everything behind, are engaged in these spiritual practices and meditation and the discourse of Prananath, that nothing's been difficult. The spiritual journey becomes so smooth and pleasant that they leave the world behind gradually. Dear Sundarsatji, these 5,000 Sundarsats have experienced something that they had not imagined they could experience. And I've repeatedly told Sundarsatji that the bliss of Jagnis Brahmanda, the world of awakening, is so glorious. Because in this world, we get to experience a lot more than what we can in Paramdham, to be honest with you. Here, we get to cry. We have all different kinds of feelings. And in Jagnis Brahmanda, when awakened, we can experience Paramdham. We can experience this world. We have the understanding of Braja. We have the understanding of Ras. We get to experience so much when we're awakened in this world of awakening. So this is a glorious moment when we are seeing the real world of Paramdham, and we are witnessing the game of suffering as well in the same time. We are seeing Paramdham and we are experiencing the transient world, the leelas of transient world, because for awakened souls, whatever happens in this world is nothing short of Lord's pastime, Lord's leelas, because there is nothing to worry about. As you are awakened, as you realize your true self, as you realize that you are in Paramdham, the experiences of the world do not bother us, pleasant or sad. So these Sundarsatji are living a glorious experience. They are experiencing such a glory that it feels that they are in Paramdham. Dear Sundarsatji, on today's discourse, we'll cover the third and the fourth prahar of Ashtaprahar Seva, the time between 12 and 6. So before the third prahar actually begins, दो घड़ी दो प्रहर में बाकी रही जब बाई हनुमंत अरज करे थाल ल्यावन की तब. So before 45 minutes before the third prahar begins, meaning 11:15, 15 minutes past 11, is when Sundarsats, Hanumantabai, one of the Sundarsats, asked Prananath for lunch. Prananath says, with a smile in his face, "Why are you disturbing me?" Mahamati Prananath is engaged in discourse. Mahamati Prananath says, "You do your thing. Let me do my discourse. Because I'm enjoying this discourse. Why are you bothering me?" Then Baiji Maharani comes and she asks the same. She requests Prananath to wrap up the discourse such that he could be ready for lunch. Hukuma hua Shree Raj ka, lyao dhoti potiya tela, seva ki samila milo, taba aun tumhari gela. Mahamati Prananath says, "Arrange me the stuff to take a shower before I go for lunch. Bring my towel, bring some oil, bring some soap, whatever needed. And once that's done, I will be there. I'll wrap up my discourse." But until then, Mahamati says, "Tavalo moko charcha se kahe karat ho bhanga, tab asati seva ke kahe, Sri Baiji arja kare ardhanga." But until then, do not bother me, do not disturb me, because I'm enjoying the discourse. Jayanti dasa aaye ki baatein kari beech kana, raja khas kiro haki deta kar pehchana, uthata raj jilana ko baithata chauki upar, sakhiyan tel lagavata charon taraf ghera. As Mahamati Prananath finally gets up and be ready for the shower, there are Sundarsats serving, applying oil in his body. Dear Sundar Saji, do not assume that this is the worldly lila. This is not the worldly event. Sundar Saji are serving Raji Maharaj with no bodily feeling or no worldly feeling altogether. It is a spiritual feeling that they have. It is their true feeling towards Lord Supreme. So there are Sundar Sats applying oil all over his body. Just like in Brajamandal, just like in Paramdham, Sundar Saji would go to Jamunaji and river Yamuna and take a shower, take a deep in Jamunaji and take a bath. Here, Sundar Saji are getting ready to help Prananaji Damdani take a shower. And for the service of oil, Telaki Seva Mine Godavari or Ganga Rama Katuri Paraki Davahi Inaka Ina Seva Me Vishram. Godavari and Ganga Rama are the ones who bring oil and apply oil on Mahamati Prananaji's body. Asnan ke samay mine hota tela maradana agar das gulaji kare sati jo sevana. There are other Sundar Saji who are ready serving Prananaji at the time of his bathing. They are serving Prananaji wholeheartedly. There is no competition. There is no reservation. Mahamati Prananaji is served by all these Sundar Saji. And when Mahamati Prananaji takes shower, there are Sundar Saji pouring water over Mahamati Prananaji's body. Some are applying oil and they are engaged in serving Prananaji. In a samay aaye pahunche Sri Maharaj jab anga pochana hatha pakadane ki seva karat nahi tab. Maharaj Saprasad comes and dry the body of Prananaji with a nice soft towel. And the service of bringing the towel, the arrangement of towel, is made by Baiji Maharani herself, Prem Das, and some Sundar Sats every now and then. And when Mahamati Prananaji takes shower, one day what he does, Jala Lota Lalita Parasava Kapadi Di Vigai, he dumps a jug of water in Lalitaji, the daughter of Rajaram Bhai from Medha, and the disabled, the ugly-looking Lalita instantly becomes miraculously beautiful, and all the bodily discomfort that she had goes away. And that is when Lalita Sakhi realized how glorious it was for her to receive the grace of Prananaji. That is why she sings, Wari Re Wari, Mere Pyari Wari Re Wari. She submits to the lotus feet of Prananaji. Upar hai Kunja Bihari, the Lord Supreme Incarnate, Sri Prananaji, because for such a girl with disability and bodily discomfort and not so comfortable look, not so beautiful looks, it was Mahamati Prananaji who embraced her and gave her everything that she could even imagine. Dear Sundar Saji, Mahamati Prananaji, at the time of his bathing, sometimes the divine revelations come through him. There are Sundar Sats, Lal Dasi, and others that are ready to record such revelations at that time as well. Mahamati Prananaji, with his soft voice, makes jokes and brings smile in the faces of Sundar Satsi. He is soft in his tone, and because he knows the glory of humility, the glory of sweetness, the glory of calmness. It's such Mahamati Prananaji always say In the book of Kirtan, Prakaran 80, couplet number 1, it says, Mere meethe bole Satji hua tumhara kaam, prema mein magan vayu, khulya darwaza tham sakhi ham jai. With the sweet voice, with the reminder of Paramdham and the promises made in Paramdham, he is reminding Sundar Sats to be like awakened souls. Mahamati Prananath is there taking sour. There are Sundar Sats serving him. And there is a Sundar Sat named Sobhadas. Whatever water that Mahamati Prananath is taking a bath with, he just somersaults around it. He covers his body with that water and he feels the blessing because the water that touched the body of Prananath is receiving the same water. His body is weight with that water. Such a feeling. You want. It's hard to even imagine. It's even hard to describe the feeling of Sundar Satji to be in the vicinity of Prananath, in the closeness of Prananath. Kesav Das, Lal Dasi record the couplets, the revelations that come through Mahamati Prananath at the time of bathing. So they do not want to miss anything. There are Sundar Sats that are ready when Mahamati Prananath nearly finishes bathing. Asabai is ready. She cleans the plate that Mahamati Prananath feeds on with a clean towel, and as Lal Dasi says, there is a plate with 10 golden bowls, and the plate is of silver, and they clean it so well with such a feeling, because it's not just clean, it is pious, the plate. And the plates that we eat, the food we eat is probably clean, but if it is not pious, if it is not made with a clean feeling, with a pure feeling, then what happens? We talked about Jaisa khai anna vaisha hoye manna jaise piye pani vaishe bole pani. There is a great sense, great degree of difference that is made by what disposition we make the food. If we prepare the food with the feeling that we are serving it to Raji, then it becomes prasad. It becomes a sanctified offering. But if it is made with some worldly feelings, what it does is that such feeling is experienced by the one receiving that food. So Sundar Satji prepare food as they are serving their Lord with such a pure feeling. Mahamati Prananath is offered the food with such a feeling. Rumala kaside sira paramanika bande karaheta, Shree Raja bate kare ramuja so mithi rasana karaheta. Mahamati Prananath ties his head with a handkerchief. And it is Manik Lai who takes that service. He is always available to tie a handkerchief. And at the time of Mahamati Prananath's lunch, Lal Dasi is always there in his service. Mathuribai is always there in his service. Hamesha dhiga baithata Shree Baiji seva mein ruchake Shree Raja magata kahavata Baiji nase. Mahamati Prananath enjoys the food prepared by the Sundar Sats. He says, "Oh, you made the food so delicious." He appreciates those Sundar Sats preparing the food. He appreciates all those Sundar Sats serving him. At the time of Mahamati Prananath's lunch, again, Lal Dasi, Kesav Dasi, just in case some revelations come through him, they are always ready to record Mahamati Prananath's revelations, because these revelations are coming at different times, at different moments. And had they not been careful and recorded all the revelations, then we would not have what we have. The compilation of 14 books, 18,758 verses of Tartam, with the revelations of Paramdham, with the revelations of Vedic scriptures, the revelations on the Abrahamic scriptures. Lal Dasi and Kesar Dasi are on both sides of Prananath. Because nobody knows when these revelations are coming through Prananath. Arogati Prathama Detahi Bayon ko Prasada Raja Rama Hetaso Pave Inako Shwad. Mahamati Prananath, before he eats, just gave us a little portion of food from his plate to Sundar Sats. It's become a sanctified offering, it becomes the prasada for them. Sundar Satji bring stuffs from their homes, the vegetables, something for Prananath to enjoy. And Mahamati Prananath is savoring every bit of the offering made by the Sundar Satji. The Sundar Satji feel the blessing of being able to serve Prananath, the food prepared by them. Mahamati Prananath is receiving it with such a grace that they feel the purpose of their lives is served. Dear Sundar Satji. Maharaja Aroga Vahi Apane Hath Tambo. Sri Raja Rizaki Kahtahe Koi Nahi Seva Inatol. Maharaja Satrasal himself offered some dessert to Mahamati Prananath. And Mahamati Prananath is so thankful. He says, there is nothing compared to the service that you guys are offering. Koi nahi seva inatol. There is no measurement. It is invaluable. It is incomparable in value of what you are doing. Arogata anandasu. Baatein karata banaye seza hamari pouran ki sakhiyan sevana koi thai. After the lunch, Mahamati Prananath takes some rest. And from the kitchen where food is served, we call it rasoi. From the rasoi, Mahamati Prananath goes to the place, to Bangladesh, to wherever he takes some rest. And Sundar Satji are there to lay the soft clothes on the path of Mahamati Prananath. चारों तरफ बिछाए पावड़े प्रदक्षिणा के गिरदा लटके मटके चलत है मोमिन सेवे कर मरद. And Mahamati Prananath walks with such ease and comfort. He makes all the Sundar Sats smile with his move. He just moves sometimes with his twisted waist, sometimes slowly, sometimes fast, sometimes runs. The Leelas, the pastimes of Mahamati Prananath is so blissful to watch. I've already said, the Sundar Satji serve Prananath as the Lord Supreme. And there is no competition. There is no feeling of ego. There is no negative feeling. The way they are serving, it is true feeling that they have for Prananath. Saiya Raja Rijavata Bachana Meethe Pola Sri Raja Rijave Sayanako Ui Nahi in a Sukhatola. This Sakya, this Sundar Sats, sing the Vani, sing the bhajans, sing the glory of Sri Raji, sing the glory of Satguru Maharaj, sing the glory of Prananath. And they are singing their glory. And Mahamati Prananath also commends them, appreciates them by saying their service is so magnificent. They sing the glory of Braja, they sing the glory of Ras. Ati Mithi Rasana Bolata Dhama Dhani Sukadeta. Mahamati Prananath smiles, commends, appreciates and sharing the bliss of Paramdham. In the third prahar, from 12 to 3, Mahamati Prananath takes some rest. And this is when the Sundar Sahas sing the globe, sing the Vani. And a lot of Sundar Sahas voluntarily take the service of singing Vani every day. As Raji Maharaj takes some rest, not that it is needed, but in the third prahar in Paramdham from 12 to 3, Dhamdhani, Lord Supreme, in the third floor of Ranga Mahal, take some rest. Here in this world, in the world of awakening, in this Agnes Brahmanda Prananaji Maharaj, take some rest as well. The Sakhis, the Sundar Sahas, the consorts of the Lord Supreme in this world, sing the glory of Prananaji while he is taking some rest. They are singing Vani. Piyo pore palanga para sanya sevana ko shanamukha mithi papi rasna sukare vetani sadham sukha. Mahamati Prananath gives him the bliss of Paramdham with his beautiful words. While he is taking some rest, he is watching what Sundar Sahas are doing. He is singing the glory every now and then. Jagannath Vai, with some beautiful musical instrument, sing the Vani. Mahamati Prananath sing the discourse of some of the Sundar Sahas in Paramdham because they are all awakened. They have all understood the Leelas of Paramdham. So Mahamati Prananath listens to the discourse given by Lavdasi and other Sundar Sahas at the time of his rest. They are singing the verses that were unraveled to Mahamati Prananath, and they're appreciating Prananath. They are singing the glory of Prananath. Gajapatavai is singing the Vani. Nisadinakrayi prema sumsri yugala sarupake charana nirmala hona yahisu aura dhama varnana says Mahamati Prananath as such. It is through the description of Paramdham, it is through the discourse on Paramdham, it is through Chitavani, it is through Vritti, it is through Charchani. It is through the true feeling of love towards Prananath, towards Dhamdhani, that one receives the lotus feet of Prananath, lotus feet of Sri Raji Maharaj as such. These Sundar Sahas are continuously singing the Vani, continuously trying to make Prananath feel the bliss of this Vani. Dear Sundar Sahataji, as such, Mahamati Prananath reminds Sundar Sahas that Bhajana Vina Sava Narakahi Pacha Pacha Mariye Mahi in the book of Kirantan. There is no such glory as singing the Vani, because these are the words of Dhamdhani, these are the words of Lord Supreme Sri Raji Maharaj. So singing the Vani itself is more glorious than anything else. And for Sundar Sahas, that should be the glorious, one of the glorious things, most glorious thing. Dear Sundar Sahji, these Sundar Sahas at the time of Mahamati Prananath's rest are enjoying singing the Vani. So it is not about voice. It is not about how good our voice is. It is about our feeling. As long as we genuinely feel that we're singing for Dhamdhani, we're singing for Raji Maharaj, we're singing to please our Lord, then the quality of voice, the texture of our voice does not matter. Gajapatavai is singing with such a feeling. Other consorts, other Sakya, other Sundar Sahas. Chandravali, one of the Sundar Sahas, is singing a Punjabi bhajan, a bhajan in Punjabi. Sambhu, Bhaktawar, Amrit Kundali, and other Sundar Sahas are singing the Vani as well. And Mahamati Prananath is taking some rest in between 12 and 3. There are Sundar Sahas always singing the glory of Dhamdhani, the Lord Supreme. Dear Sundar Saji, after 3 o'clock, Mahamati Prananath wakes up and drinks some water, and there are Sundar Sats offering him some water. There are Sundar Sats always at service. And from 3 to 6, on the 4th Prahar, as the 4th Prahar starts, Mahamati Prananath goes around the places. He and other Sundar Sats are emulating the pastimes of Paramdham, the Leelas of Paramdham. What happens in Paramdham between 12 and 3, that's when Raji Maharaj takes some rest. And the Sakhiyans, the consorts of Sri Raji Maharaj, go around places of Paramdham, bring some food. It's their time, as we call it, ladies' time out, or ladies' day out, or ladies' night out. It is when the consorts of Sri Raji Maharaj go out in different places, in Kunjani, Kunjaban and other places. Bring some vegetables and other things to prepare for the dinner in the evening. And it's before 3 o'clock, all those consorts arrive in the 3rd floor in Parsal and wake Lord Supreme with their beautiful Vani. Similarly here, at 3 o'clock, Prananath wakes up. And as the Leela of Paramdham, compared to the Leela of Paramdham, from 3 o'clock, Raji Maharaj asks the consorts, where are we going today? And there are different places we visit during the full moon days and the darker days, Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha. And here Prananath asks these Sundar Sats, where are we going today? Mahamati Prananath sometimes goes to the houses of Sundar Sats, sometimes he just roams around the courtyard, and there are always Sundar Sats in his service. The service of laying pavada, laying clothes, softer clothes for Prananath, Morsal Vai, Surajmukhi, and there are other Sundar Sats waving the fan for Prananath. Dear Sundar Sats, it is the 4th Prahar when Sundar Sats serve Prananath with such a feeling yet again. Mahamati Prananath is walking around, there are Sundar Sats singing his glory. Mahamati Prananath is giving the discourse. Mahamati Prananath talks about Paramdham, the whole city of Panna, where these 5,000 Sundar Sats are accompanying Prananath. It feels like Paramdham itself. Because what Paramdham is a place where there is no suffering at all, where everything that's done gives the consort eternal happiness. Such is the experience of Sundar Sats in Panna when Mahamati Prananath gets there in 1740. For 11 years, these Sundar Sats feel the blessings, feel the bliss of Paramdham. They are glorifying their soul, they are awakening their soul, they are enjoying, they are receiving the blessings of the Lord Supreme. Dear Sundar Sats, Sri Maharaja Abata Saba Seva Me Samila Apana Tana Mana Dhana Sopya Supaya Amarula Momina. Chhatrasal Maharaj comes again in the service of Prananath while he is the king, serving his people, serving his citizens, serving the people of Bundelkhanda. He's always there serving Prananath because Prananath is his spiritual master. Prananath is the Lord Supreme that he was looking for all his life. And with his blessings, Maharaja Chhatrasal has become so powerful. And from a king, he has become a Maharaj. From a king, he has become an emperor. The Sundar Sats ask Prananath to relieve them from the clutches of this world in worldly attachments. Hamaku vina khela se sitava kado Shree Raza vai Manuratha Purana Rayana Purikaz. The Sundar Sats ask Prananaji to relieve them. They say, all our wishes are being fulfilled now. There is nothing that we desire in this world. Mahamati Prananaji asked them to close their eyes. Mahamati Prananaji initiates the meditation, the Chittavani for them. And Mahamati Prananaji gets them to experience the bliss of Nirmala. Mahamati Prananaji explains the divine costume of Shree Raji Maharaj, explains the divine costume of Syamaji Maharani. Shree Raj, Shree Thakurani ji pratham homa mein birajman bahe, kaha kanchan rang ko shingasana tini ki chhipa hai chhedani. Mahamati Prananaji explains the each and every detail of Mul Milava, each and every detail of the aspects of Paramnam, Rangam, all of those different places. And Sundar Sadji feel that they are there. There's 5,000 Sundar Sads. Mahamati Prananaji reminds them to orient their soul, their feelings, their chitta, all in Mul Milava. ये मूल मिलावा अपना नजर दीजे इत्ता पलकन पीछे फेरिए ज्यों इसका अंग उपजत. Mahamati Prananaji reminds them to concentrate on Mul Milava, where their original self is, from where they are witnessing this game of suffering. Mahamati Prananaji reminds them the process of creation. Mahamati Prananaji explains everything to them, how we came to this world, where we are currently, explaining the 64 pillars made up of 16 different ornaments in dhatus, metals, precious metals, the diamonds, gold, and all those, pearls. Mahamati Prananaji explains everything to them. And as they are listening to Mahamati Prananaji, they go along with Mahamati Prananaji to those locations as Mahamati Prananaji guides their soul towards Mul Milava. Dear Sundar Sadji, it is such a divine feeling that these Sundar Sadji are a part of. Like I said yesterday, sometimes I wish I was there. Sometimes I wish I could be born at the time of Mahamati Prananaji, because we could experience Lord Supreme in person at that time. We could experience the glory of being with Prananaji. Mahamati Prananaji is guiding them from this world all the way to Paramdham, every step of the way, explaining everything. He is explaining the Virat, from 7 ethereal worlds to this world. And from here on upward, Pitrilok, Swargalok, Maharlok, Zanalok, Tapalok, Satalok, Astavaran, Jyotiswarok, Gayatri, Mohatattva, Ichhasakti, Narayan, Panchamichar Samasti, Abhyakrit, Sablik, Keval, Sataswarup, Akshardham, and from there on he explains the features of Paramdham, and all these Sundar Sadji are enjoying every beat of this discourse. Mahamati Prananaji explains everything, and Mahamati Prananaji says, Pranabo Dhanu Sharogi Atma Brahma Talaksha Muchyate Apramattena Vedabhyam Saravat Tanmayo Bhavi, as it is explained in Mundaka Upanishad. Make a bow out of your body, and the arrow, make it as your soul to be an arrow for that bow. And the target for that arrow is the Lord Supreme. So what you do is release the arrow from the bow, targeting Lord Supreme. So that means focus on the Lord Supreme itself. That is your eventual goal. You see nothing but Lord Supreme. Dear Sundar Sasi, as Mahamati Prananath is explaining all the details of Virat to Sundar Sats in this fourth Prahar from 3 to 6. Mahamati Prananath is walking around. Mahamati Prananath is giving the discourse from different places every day, reminding people, reminding Sundar Sats of their glory, reminding these Sundar Sats the glory of this transcendent understanding of Dharma. This fourth Prahar gets over as well. Mahamati Prananath is engaging them in such a divine experience that all the Sundar Sats feel that all their desires are fulfilled. Dear Sundar Sats, Mahamati Prananath is there, reminding them of the glory of Paramdham. Because as we've already said, the Leelas, the form, the abode of the Lord Supreme are stated to be inexplicable by the scholars of other faiths. The Vedas tried to find Lord Supreme. Veda agama kahi ulati piche neta neta karagaya khabar na padi binda upajya kahati tati nama nigama dharaya. The Quran cannot explain the form of Allah and says God is formless. God is transcendent. Bechun, Bechagun, Bechavi, Benimun, they say that God is without attributes. God is without form. And they do not know the Leelas of Allah, the God Supreme according to them. The Vedas cannot find God. While here in Padmavati Puridham, in this fourth Prahar, Mahamati Prananath explains everything from all the way down, from the 73rd worlds, from hell all the way to the supreme abode of Paramdham, and everything in between he explains to Sundar Sats. He guides their soul every step of the way, awakening their soul in the meeting of Mool Milava. Dear Sundar Sats, Tartam has everything. Tartam is a scripture, is a philosophy that cannot be called into question, the teachings of which cannot be called into question, because it answers and satiates all those inquisitive minds with the holistic understanding. Any question that you have, Dharma has an answer to it. Why did we come to this world? What is the path of self-realization? What is the path to God? When will we find ourselves in Paramdham? How does each soul receive salvation and moksha? All the questions that humanity has sought the answers to, Tartam offers it in such a persuasive manner, with such description that the questions no longer remain questions, they are answered. So Mahamati Prananath on this fourth Prahar explains everything about this world and beyond. He reminds Sundar Sats to focus all their attention in the meeting of Mool Milava, constantly absorbing in the constant absorption of Sri Rasyamaji, in the meditation of Paramdham. Dear Sundar Sats, when Mahamati Prananath explains all that, the fourth Prahar is also over, and the fifth Prahar begins. Ab kahu prahara pansama aya ina bakata hua samay baithana ka upara ina takata. Just like 6 o'clock in the evening, Rasyamaji arrived to Ranga Mahal. Mahamati Prananath arrives in Banglaji, and now the episodes of meditation, Chitavani and Discourse begin again. Just like in Paramdham, at 6 o'clock, Mahamati Prananath, Lord Supreme Sri Raji Maharaj returned to Ranga Mahal, have the dinner, and go to the Niratsala. The identical Leelas happen in Padmavati Paridham. Because where Raji resides become Paramdham. And here in this world of awakening, Mahamati Prananaji, the Lord Supreme, is residing in Panna. So that is the land of Paramdham in the world of awakening. So all the Leelas are the replica, are the exact replica of Paramdham. The Sundarsats are the consorts of the Lord Supreme. Their service is equivalent to the service of Sundarsats in Paramdham. So it is such a divine providence of the Sundarsats to experience. On tomorrow's discourse, we'll talk about the 5th and 6th Prahar.